Stop calling me gay. I'm probably not. Okay?
Oh, it's the kid getting words. Podcast don't last, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all well and just ripping into our Tuesdays, just living our best lives, you know what I mean? Just had to go through the most painful school drop-off in recent histories, but regardless of that, we show up and we put on a good fucking episode for you guys. But before we break down what's happened in my week, let's see what the fuck this bloke's on about.
Stop calling me gay. I'm probably not. Okay?
Brother, if you're saying I'm probably not, I think we need to unpack that a little bit further. You know what I mean? Like, probably not gay is the most bisexual press conference I've ever heard in my fucking 33 years of existence. Just that extended pause as well, just before the I'm probably not gay. It's like his brain was buffering going, holy shit, what have I just told the entire internet? So yeah, that guy is certainly uncertain about his sexuality, but regardless of that, let's get into what has been happening in my life this week. And my God, it has been a week. I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately. I feel like I've been chasing my tail like a fucking dumb Dalmatian sitting out on the couch out there. But yeah, let's get on to, actually, before we even rip in, I need a little boost of energy this morning. So let's crack my delicious can of Celsius before we rip right in. Oh, yeah. Fuck, that just splashed me in the eye. My Lord. Let's take a little sip of this. Oh, yeah. That's some good shit. Look, I might seem a little on edge and nervous and jittery and shit this morning. And I think that's because this episode here is, technically speaking, our first Creamy Boys Patreon exclusive episode. So obviously you guys are getting the first chunk of the episode, but then we are going straight into the Creamy Boys live on Patreon. And to be fair, I'm a little bit fucking nervous as to how that's going to go down because I'm basically going to be exposing myself on there. I'm going to be opening my notebook. The first episode, actually, you know what? We'll just get onto it. We'll get into it on the Patreon. Let's not fuck with systems and things like that. Let's just get into it. So, first story this week. Both my boys, obviously in school at the moment, and Parker comes home the other day, and him and Westy are having this in-depth conversation about planets, okay? Parker's learning about the solar system, as you do in prep, and Westy has obviously been through that. I suppose he still dabbles in it a little bit at school. Like, I kind of vaguely remember it was like something that you touch on at some period of every year. You learn a little bit more about the solar system, things like that. And the boys are just starting to talk to each other about planets and stuff. And Nikita and I are sitting there, we're listening to them. We're like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then the conversation turns to Nikita and I. And look, this might surprise you guys. I am not the most academic man sitting in this room, okay? Which is a crazy thing to say because I'm the only man sitting in this room right now. And that is just justifying my IQ level to all you guys. But they're going back and forth. They're comparing planets, things like that. And Nikita pipes up. And as soon as she did, I go, why are you doing this to us? You know what I mean? We know nothing about the solar system. I don't remember anything. Is the sun or is it a star? Adrian, I know you're fucking listening. I know it's technically speaking a star, but why are no other stars that big? These are life's issues that I'll never have answers to. But anyway, Nikita pipes in and she goes, we start labeling all the planets with them, okay? Bit of fun. We got the common ones. We got Mars. We got Jupiter. We got Saturn. We've got, what else is there? Venus, Neptune, all that shit. And the boys are like, this is crazy. How do you guys know so much about planets? And we're like, I don't fucking know. You guys will one day be old people just like us, and your kids will think you're geniuses because you know a couple of names of planets. Now, Nikita then drops the bomb on them, and she goes, oh, you know, there used to be another planet called Pluto. And both the boys of course, start asking questions. What happened to Pluto? Why is it not a planet anymore? Does it still exist? What is this Pluto propaganda just floating around the atmosphere? And to be honest, I don't know what the fuck happened to Pluto. I just saw it like this probably happened when I was an apprentice or something. I just remember it was on the radio one day and they're like, Pluto's not a planet anymore. And you're like, does anything I've ever learnt even make sense anymore? You know what I mean? Like, why have I spent 12 years in the schooling system learning about this thing that doesn't even exist anymore? Like, is it still out there? Did it explode or something? Is that why it got deleted? I probably should have done some research prior to the episode. But the kids start asking all these questions and I'm like, I don't know. And Nikita's saying the same thing. She's like, well, I don't really know what happened to it either. I'm like, fucking, how do you demote a planet? Like, could you imagine, put yourself in Pluto's situation right now. Put yourself in Pluto's shoes and just think, like, you've lived your whole life thinking you're part of this group. You're part of this friend group called the solar system. And all of a sudden, a group of scientists just go, hey, Pluto, you can't sit with us anymore. Fuck off, you fucking loser. It's just cosmic bullying at this stage. But yeah, I don't know. Are you guys that are listening, do you know what the fuck happened to Pluto? Let me know in the comments because I don't fucking know. And to be honest, I'm not going to Google it. So imagine just telling your kids about a planet that used to exist and then doesn't exist anymore and the countless questions they have. I'm just hoping neither one of them go to school today and say to their teachers like, oh, what happened to Pluto? And it just opens a whole like conspiracy theory. Like my kids just become the anti-vaxxers of the primary school. That's what I'm preparing myself for pickup this afternoon. Speaking about their schooling, last week, both the boys this was their first like joint cross country together. So Parker was in kindy last year. He ran a bit of a cross country, if you want to call it that. Like the kindy kids just ran the 100 meters. So it was still cool to see him get involved, things like that. And let's start with Westy first, okay? Westy, as soon as he found out about this cross country, he has been fucking pumped about it, okay? He's been coming home. He's like, Dad, I did training at school today. He's like, can we go for a run around the block? And he was just like, he was in the zone this year. He wanted to compete, I suppose you would call it. And last week, right before the cross country, it was like the day before he comes home. He's like, Dad, I think I can come second this year. And I was like, and he's come second in previous years as well. Like he always sits around second or third. And I'm like, look, love the confidence, love that energy. And like, you're not being delusional. You're not going, hey, I'm going to fucking go out there and I'm going to pump all the other grade fours. You know what I mean? He's just setting realistic confidence for himself. And I'm all about that. You know what I mean? That's like me sitting in here every week and going, hey, 3 people are going to download the episode this week. And that's fucking sick. But anyway, I'm like, Westy, why don't you try and come first? Like, that'd be pretty cool if you came first at cross country. He's like, nah, not a chance. And then he said the kid's name that comes first every year. And I'm like, oh, that's right. That fucking weapon. This kid is so quick. Like this kid picked running as a sport. Out of all the sports out there, this kid could have done soccer, football, basketball, anything. This kid has gone, nah, I only need one thing. And that is these fucking legs. That is some outrageous confidence. You know what I mean? I never would have thought that when I was a kid. I remember I did little athletics for like 2 sessions when I was a kid. One of the sessions was run from like the little athletics field to the local McDonald's, get an ice cream and run back. And I remember I made it like halfway to McDonald's and I was fucking devo because I wasn't going to get the ice cream. I couldn't even make it to McDonald's. So good to see that Westy is just not following in my footsteps and actually making somewhat of an athlete out of himself. But he cross country comes around, right? And straight away he gets a bad start. He is coming like third last. And I don't know why the school does this. Their starting point, about 20 meters into the run, is like the football posts on the school oval. And obviously all these grade 4s are just in a massive bunch. And of course, my son runs straight towards the fucking football post. And I'm like, oh God, do not run into the post and just ruin this whole thing for yourself. So he's coming like third last, almost runs into the post, sidesteps it like he's fucking Israel Folau in his heyday or something like that. And he ends up making up the pace. He floors it, and I'm like, do not do this. I'm like, you're going to gas too early. Then they go like we can't see them anymore. They've gone on like the cross country route. And when they come back into view, Westy's coming like third or fourth, I think. And I'm like, ooh, he's made up the pace. But I know he has gassed himself hard. And he's looking puffed. He's looking wrecked. And he just does the athlete thing as he runs past me. They must have had like a water station somewhere. So he's got this little plastic cup. And he's running with it. And he just runs past me. I'm trying to be the supportive dad. I'm like, let's go, Westy. You're doing so well. And he just like death stares me. And he goes, here, hold this. And just throws a fucking plastic cup at my head. I'm like, sweet. I'm that dude now. So he is flooring it. He's trying to catch up, trying to make the pace. And then we lose him again. They go in another part of the school. We can't see him. And the next time we're going to see him is on the home stretch. Now, the kid we all knew was going to come first. He comes steaming out of the bushes. And within the matter of like, I don't know, 5 seconds, let's call it 5 seconds for argument's sake, Westy comes steaming out of the bush as well. He's in second place. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to do it. This is going to be the best day of his life. And the kid coming first, he does the glory strides down the straight, okay? He has let the foot off the gas. He's taken in the atmosphere. He's waving to the parents. He's kissing babies in the crowd. He's doing all that. And I can just see Westy still putting in any effort he's still got. And I'm just screaming out. I'm like, Westy, run as fast as you can. I'm like, keep running. I'm like, just waste whatever energy you have left. Because I knew if he sprinted that whole straight, he probably would have caught this kid because this kid was in coasting mode. And Westy was gunning it. And the kid coming in first realised, and then he floored it again. And Westy ended up coming second, which he was fucking stoked with. And we were as well. Like, that's pretty crazy from where he was in like kindy and shit like that, where he just wasn't engaging in anything, wasn't talking to anyone, and now he's just fucking putting in efforts like that. Good to see. So ended up coming second, and he's now at the age bracket. I think this is the reason why he wanted to do well this year, is now they go to like, what's it called? What's it called around here? I never made it, so I never learned it. Like regionals and South Coast and then states and things like that. So he's like, oh, I really want to like start doing that sort of stuff. So he's made whatever the next level is, where we'll see how he goes, because then he's going up against other schools and things like that. So I'm telling him to keep his expectations low and just keep the training up, you know what I mean? But then we go into my second son, Parker. Now, he is at the other end of the spectrum, okay? All the lead up to this, he has been going, I'm not leaving the start line, you know what I mean? I'm sitting down and I'm just waiting for everyone else to get back. And I'm like, you can't do that, buddy. I'm like, you need to at least participate. I'm like, I don't care if you come last, just run with the other kids. He's like, nah, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, please don't embarrass the bloodline. After the performance your brothers just put in, we can't afford the missing name. I went to this school as well. I mean, I never really did that amazing. I was like house captain in grade 7. I know. Who the fuck would vote this guy? But anyway, the buzzer goes off on the start line and that missing instinct just kicks in and he just starts running those little legs. And I was like, oh, this is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? And obviously their run isn't as big as Westy's was, so we can see them the whole run. And I'm like, I can see him putting in the effort. Like he's running as fast as he can and ends up crossing the finish line in 5th, which I was fucking stoked with. With him threatening not to leave the start line and then ended up coming 5th, I was like, okay, I'm happy with that. But the poor little fella, he's got asthma. And it's not like, when my kids have stuff, I hate saying that they've got it because there's so many other kids out there with worse conditions than my kids. But he's got to have like his Ventolin like twice a week at school, just when he's running around the playground. And I feel bad for him. And he's put in this monster effort for him to come 5th. And he crosses the finish line, and Nikita and I both look at each other, and he looked like he was about to pass out. He's red, he's gasping for breath, and we just had to quickly run to his teacher and be like, look, he needs his asthma puffer, and he's just having a little fucking asthma attack on the finish line. So that is an athlete. Just both kids, just completely different ends of the athletic. What would you call it? I was about to say pyramid, but that's not it. Let's just call it a pyramid for this sake. Just 2 separate battles, both in their own minds, but they both showed up and I was fucking stoked. But the red flag of the whole cross-country thing, I actually can't believe I'm about to say this in public because this absolutely blew my mind as to how this is even a thing, okay? So Nikita had the whole day off work And I made up the hours through the week to leave for a couple of hours through the day just to go and watch both their races, right? So I rock up to school and Nikita hits me with the bombshell of the day. She goes, oh, everyone's freaking out because they've had to change the whole course of the cross country. And I'm like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, these kids have been practicing on this course for the longest time. They know the course, they know the turns, they know where they got to go. I'm like, why would they do that on the day? And she goes, oh, there's a homeless man living in the school bush now, and they can't get rid of him. Now, that's not really a sentence you should hear in the same sentence as primary school, okay? Homeless man and primary school shouldn't go together. That is just a red flag in my opinion. And I go, can't the teachers move him on? They're like, oh, they've tried. The police have been here all morning. They've tried to move him on. But for whatever reason, apparently he's within his rights to live in the school bush. And I'm like, that is so fucked up. Like, that is, how can someone live in a school bush? Like, I guarantee if he walked through the school premises, like within the classrooms and stuff, police would fuck him off straight away. But for him to be able to set up his house and stuff like that in the school bush blows my fucking mind, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm like, what? Like, how is this even a thing? So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, fuck. I'm just eyeing off all like the CrossFit dads in the crowd, and I'm like trying to formulate a plan. I'm like, maybe 4 of us could go in there. We could give him a little bit of a scare, fuck this guy off out of the school. But then it dawned on me. I'm like, then I'd probably be arrested. Like, this guy would sue me for invading his privacy or trespassing or something within his house within the school bush. So that is fucked up. Anyone that lives near me that wants to go fuck off a homeless guy out of the school, like, I'm concerned sending my kids there every day, but I'm not going to name and shame them or anything like that. Everyone calm down. Yeah, there might be a couple of parents listening to this. Pretend you don't know me, okay? Let's bail out of that story with another turns out it can get worse clip. Which one is this? This guy. Here's a good one for you guys. Ready?
My best friend covered his balls in glitter. Pretty fucking nuts.
I mean, the framing and things like that, where it's just his mouth and a dark background, absolutely terrifying. The joke itself, not too bad. I might use that for premature premises in the Creamy Boys. Who fucking knows? But yeah, just I never want that man anywhere near my nuts. You know what I mean? Even if he does call them pretty nuts, he can fuck right off. Speaking about weirdos, let's talk about my friend at the gym. Now, I have done a pretty good job at avoiding this guy since he's made his big comeback. And last week, he bailed me up. And of course he bails me up mid-set, as he does. The most inconvenient time to strike up a conversation with someone. You know what I mean? Like, that should be a criminal offense within the gym system. If they're watching the security cameras and they see someone come up and strike a conversation mid-set, you should get like a 3-week ban or something from the gym. It is not the time or place. But anyway, he comes up to me. I'm halfway through my set. He goes, "Hey, mate, how you been?" And I'm like, it begins. I go, "Yeah, good, mate. How you been?" Just trying to keep it vague, trying to keep it simple, trying to get the fuck out of this conversation. He goes, "Yeah, not too bad." And I go, "Okay, that's good." And he just stares at me, waiting for me to ask him back. And I go, "How have you been?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, you know, had a fair bit going on lately. I've actually been in court, been in and out of court." And I didn't want to ask the follow-up question. And I go, "Oh, no. What have you been in court for?" I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to talk about it. And his response to me, the exact same thing. He goes, "Oh, I don't really want to talk about it." First of all, why the fuck bring it up then? You know what I mean? Just do the polite thing and go, "Yeah, I've been pretty good as well, mate. Anyway, see you later. Have a good day at work." He's just fucking emotionally clickbaiting me at this stage. Why bring it up? That's just trauma edging. I'm just sitting on the bench press going, "Please tell me why the fuck you've been in court." I'm waiting for this dude to drop a dumbbell on my head or something. Like, who knows what he's been in there for? But anyway, if that didn't piss me off enough, the next conversation did piss me off, because he goes, now, back when I was engaging with this guy, I suppose you'd say, I was trying to hit the gym pretty hard. So I was going for my morning sessions, and then on the way home to pick the kids up, I had like a spare half an hour or so. So I'd swing back past the gym and I'd either do a bit of cardio or I'd hit the sauna or something, just enough to get the blood pumping. And he goes, "Oh, you still coming in the afternoons?" And I go, "Oh, nah, not at the moment. I don't have time to do anything. I'm flat stick." And he looks me in the eyes and he goes, "Buddy, you got to make time for gym, mate. You can't just half-ass this shit." It made me so fucking angry. I almost wanted to print out my Google calendar and just fucking smash it in his face and go, "You find me a spare 20 minutes in my day at the moment and I'll come to fucking gym." You know what I mean? I'll build you a statue at the gym because you've just made my workload shrink, okay? I would give my left nut for a spare 20 minutes at the moment. But basically, the way my calendar's looking at the moment, I'm triple booked until 2034. So this guy can fuck right off. Oh, I'm going to hate the day that he stumbles across this podcast and then just bails me up about it. But let's get on to some highs and lows from the week regarding my kids. I'm going to take another little sip before we do. Oh, let's start with the highs, okay? This was one of those like dad moments this week where I just sat back and I was like, oh, all this hustling and shit, all these fucking extra hours, whatever, it's all worth it because as I spoke about a couple of years ago on the podcast, we forked out for Westy's birthday and we got him like a proper BMX bike. It was like $700 or $800 or something. And he's well and truly got his money out of this thing. He rides it every single day without a doubt, no matter what, even if it's for 10 minutes up and down the road. He thrashes this thing. Oh, why was that so hard? Thrashes this thing. Too many S's and TH's in that sentence. Anyway, he thrashes it, and it's got to the stage where it was well and truly overdue for a service. Now, back in the day when you'd just buy like a Kmart bike or something, you could swap the tyres over yourself, you could swap the chain over, you could fix the brakes, you could do whatever, you know. And I started to have a look at this bike, and every single thing on it, you needed like a special tool to like do everything. Now, I could have done the thing where I go and buy all these tools, but it was adding up like ridiculously. So I was like, oh, let's just pay the bloke we bought it off to give it a service. I'm like, this guy's going to cry when I bring this in. But we go there, we take him to the bike shop, and it was, I don't even know what day it was. Maybe it was after, I don't know. It was a day we all had the day off for some reason. Maybe it was last Monday or something. Who knows? Anyway, we take the bike in. So it's me, Nikita, Parker, and Westy. Westy wheels it in, and I go, look, you're going to cry when you see this thing. He's like, oh, trust me, I've seen way worse. And I was like, oh, thank God. Anyway, we start rattling off what we want done. Brakes, chain, fucking tyres. Westy popped a tyre. And then a couple of little aesthetic things that Westy's wanted for ages, like new handlebar grips, new seat, something else. I don't fucking remember. But he goes, okay, no worries. I'll give you a call in a couple of days when it's ready. Now, I go, before I left the shop, I was like, what am I in for here? So I hit him up. I go, look, how much roughly are we looking at? And he starts doing the figures. He goes, oh, looking at about $230. And I was like, okay, that seems reasonable. Like, I was looking at about $150 just for like tools and shit like that. So I was like, okay. Plus he's getting the extra shit that he wants. Plus it's all getting done professionally. I'm like, okay, sweet. Let's do it. Let's lock it in. And I went and picked it up the other day after work. And as soon as well, first of all, shout out to this guy, okay? If you're in the, let's give his business a shout out because he's an absolute legend. Southeast Cycles. So he was in Beenleigh. Now he's at Springwood. And I walk in the shop and I go, oh, I'm here to pick up the purple Colony bike. And he goes, oh, sweet. I love that bike. He goes out the back. He rides it through the shop doing like little like bunny hops and shit in between all the bikes on display. I'm like, you're just showing off at this point. But anyway, he gets to the front and pulls out the little docket thing that he's been keeping track of what he's been doing. And he goes, oh, look, it came in a bit more expensive than what I was expecting. And he goes, this was bent and this was wrong with it. And he goes, look, I saw how much love your son had for the bike when he wheeled it in here. And the way he was like looking at it and showing me how he wants everything done. He goes, look, I'll just call it the 230. He goes, I know he's going to get enjoyment out of it. I've done a bit extra for him. He's going to fucking love it. And I was like, you are a fucking legend. So shout out to that guy. Don't know his exact name, but if you go there, he's the owner. And so I get the bike home. And as soon as I pull in the driveway, Westy comes steaming out the front door. And the grin on his face, he's like, Dad, did you get my bike? It was like it was his birthday all over again. And I'm like, yeah, it's in the back. Open the back of the ute, pull the ute out, pull the fucking bike out. And the grin on this kid's face was the sickest thing I've seen in the longest time. This was 100% what I needed. And once I saw that grin, I would have paid fucking $1 million to get this bike fixed to where it is now. And all afternoon, he rode like all the way into nighttime, didn't get off this one thing to come and get a drink of water or anything. And every time I'd look out the front door to make sure he's all good, he still had this exact same fucking grin on his face. So it was so good to see. It was, like I said, it was one of those like highlight dad moments that you get every now and then. And just that little dopamine hit that I needed. But then on the flip side of that, this is the downfall, right? Same kid. Like I said, I had time off for the cross country. And on Friday, like I've mentioned, he goes to like a religious school. So they do a chapel every Friday. Now, last week's chapel, Westy comes home on like the Monday or something, and he's like, oh, I've got to do a heap of reading at this week's chapel and do like a presentation type thing. And we're like, oh, cool. And because Nikita had the Monday off, she had to work the Friday, and she's like, I can't fucking get work off. So I was like, okay, I'll make up more hours so I can have another couple of hours off to go to the school chapel. So throughout the week, I've made up these hours. I've got the time in lieu. I'm ready to go. And Nikita calls me at like 6 a.m. Friday morning, and she's like, Westy's having a meltdown. He's hit the wall. He doesn't want you to come. He doesn't want fucking people there to watch him. And I was like, oh, this is fucking heartbreaking. Like I've hit that uncool dad era. You know what I mean? It's not cool to have your parents at school anymore. So I've gone, oh, Westy, I'll sit up the back of the chapel like some sort of divorced uncle or something. You know what I mean? You won't even know I'm there. And he's like, nah, I don't want anyone to come. And I was like, please, I'm fucking begging you. I'm like, not only to see you do something, but I've worked these extra hours, you know? Don't make this for nothing. And I go, look, give him half an hour or something and I'll call you back. And called Nikita back. She's like, nah, he still doesn't want you to come. He's refusing. He said if he sees anyone there that he knows, he's not going to do his little speech up on stage. And I'm like, that is so fucking gay. I'm so pissed off right now. But I go, look, put me on the phone. And I go, Westy, I'm like, are you just saying this? Are you trying to be cool? Are you going to be upset if you look out there and me or mum's not sitting in the crowd? And he's like, nah, I don't want anyone there. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And Nikita's like, I even asked one of the other mums that are going to record him just so we can watch the recording. And he had a meltdown about that. He's like, if I see her recording, I'm going to stop talking. Oh, God. Thankfully, this mum recorded it for us. And Westy mustn't have seen it because he just powered through his little speech. So, yeah, that was absolute, as I mentioned, pinnacle of dad life. And then that was some absolute heartbreaking shit just to know that I'm not a cool dad anymore. That hurt more than the 5K dental bill last week. You know what I mean? I would have paid 5K just to go to Westy's chapel and hear him do his little speech. But Nikita and I had Saturday night as a bit of a kid-free date night. Saturday afternoon rolled around. The kids are like, can we go stay at Nanny's? And we're like, sure. As if Friday wasn't a hard enough day where you didn't want to hang out with me. Now you don't want to hang out with me on a Saturday. I get it. I'm not fucking cool. So we call mum. We're like, boys want to have a sleepover. She's like, yeah, sweet. Drop them off. So Nikita and I are like, oh, we've got the whole night to ourselves. The world is our oyster. Now, Nikita and I aren't the type of couple that'll be like, we've got the whole night. Let's get a hotel down the coast. Let's go out to a luxurious restaurant, things like that. That's not us. We are fucking bottom of the barrel, bogan couple. If we go to Macca's, we're like, this is the sickest date ever. Macca's and come home and watch like, I don't know, The Hangover again. That is peak date night. So we get back in the car after dropping the kids off and we're like, let's get something to eat on the way home. Then we'll go home and watch a movie. So Nikita goes, oh, we haven't had sushi in ages. Let's just go to the local sushi shop. So I'm like, okay, I could go with some sushi. So there's a newish one. It's not really that new anymore. It's been around for a year or so. And we've been there once before and it was some sick sushi. So I was like, let's go to that one. She goes, yeah, sweet. Now, it's changed a little bit since the last time we were in. Now, it's not a sushi train, but I'm going to call it a sushi train for the purpose of this exercise, okay? Because it is sushi on a conveyor belt, hence the name sushi train. So we walk into this place and it has changed drastically. When we first went there, It was inviting. It was friendly. It was a fun place to be around. We slide the sliding door, and we don't get greeted by the staff. We get greeted by this loud doorbell that just screams. What do they say? Like, "Ohayo gozaimasu." Oh, God. Okay, I just said that because that is how the doorbell sounded, okay? There was no racial undertones to that. So, Adrian, I'm looking at you. Don't fucking come at me. So I said that, and I'm like, and the staff didn't even look up. And I was like, this seems fucking rude. But anyway, we go find a table. They didn't even tell us to, like, find a seat. We had to find our own. So we find a booth. We settle in, and there isn't even, like, staff that comes up to your table. It was all on an iPad. I was like, okay. I actually don't mind that because you guys know I hate social interactions. So we get on the iPad, we start like looking at what we want. Now, when I order sushi, I usually order like a plate or two, and then I'll order a drink or something, and then in another 10 minutes or so, I'll order another couple of plates. Not at this place, because once we worked out what we wanted for that first portion of our order, we hit the place order button, and this giant buzzing bell went over the entire fucking restaurant. Like a big fucking, like a basketball buzzer when someone hits a fucking winning shot. As if to say, oh, table 7's ordering again. Everyone turn and look at those fat fucks. Ordering more food. So yeah, I basically placed the one order because I was too nervous to let everyone else know that I was ordering more food than what I deserved. So I rationed out my sushi just to protect my reputation in the Logan area and not let everyone know that I'm a huge fat cunt. But again, let's bail out of that with another turns out it can get worse clip. Potentially one of my favourite of the week, guys. Buckle in. Let's see what this seedy bloke's got to say.
Dude, I don't know about y'all, okay, but I just took a piss, all right? Went to zip up my fly and zipped up a tuft of pubes because I got a massive bush because I'm a man.
I've got a massive bush because I'm a man. My God, that is that's not masculinity. That is just poor zip management. But that dude is off his face. I don't even know what that guy is on about. And just small detail for the YouTube viewers, he's got a forehead tattoo like above his eyebrow, but his head rolls are so big that the tattoo just gets engulfed by head rolls. So just a little crucial bit of detail that I noticed there. Anyway, I've filmed a couple of clips this week. They'll be coming out on my socials, on my Jimmy Missin socials. I'll probably tag Can't Get Any Worse as well if you follow on there. But keep an eye out for those. First one I filmed Sunday morning. I went down to Carrara Stadium to film a little promo video for the IBC stream this Saturday. And look, I'll put my hand up. I didn't even think about this. Obviously, a Sunday morning at a sports stadium, it is going to be fucking packed full of people there to do their sporting events for the morning. And I had to set my little camera up in front of it and I looked like a failed influencer. There was like 100 people just walking around the area, walking behind the camera, just looking at me anxiously talk down the barrel of the camera. It was the most embarrassing fucking shit I've done in so long. Just social anxiety in 4K. So keep an eye out for that. I'd appreciate you guys if you could fucking like that shit up, share it around, get the hype up for the stream this Saturday. And then Sunday night, I had to record a promo video for the Patreon. So that is dropping the day I'm recording this. So by the time this episode comes out, it'll be live. It'll have the first few stand-up clips. It'll have the extended episodes. I'm also thinking about, because I've usually got the episodes ready by a Monday afternoon. So I'm thinking early release on the Patreon as well. So I'll release the episodes on Patreon Monday afternoon whenever they're ready. Just depends. I haven't uploaded anything to Patreon yet. So I don't know how long the upload periods and shit like that go. Like, takes a couple of hours on YouTube to upload a video. So I can only assume it's the same on Patreon. But anyway, we're gonna wean all that shit out over the next few weeks. But I had to film the promo video for the Patreon, which is dropping this afternoon. And again, I just thought, I'll leave early for my sit-down gig, leave an hour early, film a video up around there. Ended up finding a quiet spot off the side of Suncorp Stadium, and I was like, this would be cool, a couple of different angles, things like that. I didn't realise, actually I did realise, but the Vegas round was on for the NRL, and obviously Suncorp is on Caxton Street, where the Caxton Hotel is. Huge for watching football games and things like that. So I set my camera up, start filming this shit, feeling corny as I do when I film stuff. And within like 10 minutes, a river of just Bulldogs and Dragons jerseys just start funneling down towards me. And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. I just look like a Make-A-Wish content creator. Oh, fuck. But yeah, I actually put a lot of effort into those clips. So when they do drop, like I said, please validate me. Please fucking support the shit, because the pain and trauma that I went through to get that shit done, God, it was painful. But anyway, last little story before we rip into my week in comedy. This made the boys piss their pants laughing. And I was like, fuck it, let's bring it on the podcast and let you guys know. I want to raise awareness for something that happens when you go from childhood to adulthood, okay? Particularly for adult men, because I asked Nikita and she can still do it. So there is something that happens to your body. I can only assume it's during the puberty stage. Weird things happen to your body. A certain part of your body drops, and that is probably what prevents this now. There is something that happens where I cannot squeal anymore. Like when you're a kid, you could squeal as loud as you could. Both my boys were doing it yesterday. They were squealing so loud, and they're like, Dad, can you squeal? And the sound that left my body, I don't know what it was. It was like a fucking haunted teapot or something. I just sounded like a wolf trying to do a mating call. There was just nothing coming out of my throat. It was like my vocal cords just went into an early retirement. So any men listening to this, pause the podcast and just try and squeal as loud as you can, like little girl squeal type thing, and just report back. Let me know if you guys can still squeal, because I don't know what has happened to my body. But let's rip into my week in comedy. I'm going to have another quick little sip before we do. As I said, my vocal cords are fried these days. But Wednesday night, kicked off at Good Chat Comedy Club. So the way their Wednesday shows work, it's like a showcase show. So they got 5-minute spots, 7-minute spots, and 10-minute spots, and then a headliner. So they've been giving me heaps of 5-minute spots lately, and every show I'm like, come on, bump me up to the 7-minute spots. I can do it. Put me in, coach. And I get the run sheet last week for this show, and they've bumped me up to a 7-minute spot. And I'm like, fuck yes, I'm going to take my best material, and I'm going to crush, and I'm going to show these guys what I can do. So I was up second, and the first act pulled out. So the room runner comes up to me, and he's like, look, can I put you up first? And I'm like, dude, whatever you need me to do, I'm here for it. I'm like, am I still sweet to do the 7, or you want me to drop back to 5? He's like, no, 100%, do your 7. And I was like, this is my moment. I'm going to crush on the opening spot, 7 minutes, Good Chat Comedy Club, one of my favorite places to perform. And in the moment, it just felt like I ate a Costco-sized bag of dicks. I feel like I had no momentum. I just feel like I lost the crowd at so many points. And I just got off stage feeling absolutely shit. Luckily, all the comedians and stuff, they're like, good set, fucking blah, blah, blah. The room runner gave me a fist bump. He's like, that was a good set, man. And I was like, oh, I don't know what you guys were watching. So I watched the footage back because I had to upload it. Well, I'm going to upload it on the Patreon. It wasn't as bad as it felt in the moment. It definitely wasn't one of my better sets as of late. But it didn't feel good in the moment. So give that one a watch on Patreon. Let me know what you guys think. But that's the cool thing with Patreon. You guys can suffer with me now. Then last night I had my semi-final for Raw at Sit Down Comedy Club. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was off the back of the bomb on the Wednesday or just the pressure of the competition. As I've said, I hate the whole competition aspect of this shit. And the nerves just kicked in hard last night. Again, I don't know what it was, but my knees were shaking, my hands were shaking. I was standing behind the curtain and I was like, I don't even remember how these jokes go. I don't remember what my first line is. I was just having crazy mental blanks like I had before the solo show. And I was like, why is my body acting like this? Like, this is my first time doing stand-up. And as I was like, right before my set, I was third in the second bracket. So I was quietly stoked with my positioning because the crowd would have been warmed up. They'd be ready for the dirtier stuff. And my heat was absolutely stacked. There were killers in my heat. There were so many comedians in the scene that I love their shit. And then there was comedians in the scene where they do regular sit-down spots and things like that. And I'm just watching these comedians go up. And the people that I like, they were doing well, but they weren't crushing. And then the safer comedians that weren't doing sexual content or talking about dicks and stuff, they were crushing. And I was like, oh God, this is not going to be my night. So obviously that made the nerves even higher. And then I get called out on stage. I'm like, fuck. So I start my set and I just feel myself, I'm shaking. I feel myself powering through the jokes, stomping on laughs. And when I get to my last joke, I start the joke, and the way the competition works, they give you like a black flash on the stage when you got 4 minutes, when you got 1 minute left, and then another double flash when you got 30 seconds left. And I get to the point where I should have got that first flash, and I'm like, holy fuck, that is how fast I've been talking through this set that I haven't even been flashed yet. So I'm like, all right, take a breath, slow the fuck down. And with this last joke, it works way better. It's the dog fingering joke, but I've cleaned it way up for the competition. And so I'm like, all right, slow the fuck down. And I slowed that joke right down, and I ended up making it to the second flash, and I ended up finishing at about 4 minutes 40, which is cool because as long as you don't go over the 5 minutes, you're safe. They tell you, they're like, if you get to 4 minutes and you get a huge laugh, bail out. Just walk off the stage. It's better to finish on that than try another joke, and then that doesn't get a laugh, and then you just fucked your whole set. So I got to about 4 minutes 40, and I was like, okay, sweet. Let's finish this, do the punchline, and walk off. And I'm sitting backstage, and I'm like, okay, it was a decent set, but I feel like I've heard other people do way better than what I just did. So I'm sitting there, and the nerves, I'm like, and that was the weird thing. Like this is the first year where I kind of didn't give a fuck about this competition. Obviously, it would have been cool to make it through to the state final. Like I said, it was the one thing that I haven't done in this competition, and I would have loved to have done it. So they're announcing the finalists, and they announced two of my mates, and I'm like, fuck yes, this is the best news ever. So I'm clapping for them, and I'm in the zone of like being happy for them. And then I think I hear my name, and I'm like, fuck, was that my name? Luckily, a couple of the other comedians look at me as if to say, walk up there. And that whole walk, I'm just walking there like, I'm going to look like the biggest fuckhead if I walk out on this stage and they didn't actually say my name. But thankfully, they did say my name. And you're looking at a Raw Queensland State finalist. So I don't know when the final is just yet. I think it'll be in 2 weeks. So they got the second semi-final next weekend, and then I think it's the state final the week after. So again, I do not hold high expectations for that, like Westy with his cross-country career. I certainly will not be making it through the state final, but anyone that does want to come along, it's going to be a sick gig. It's always sold out. And yeah, quietly stoked that I've made it through to the state final after 3 years of trying this shit. So we'll see how we go. But before we rip into what I've consumed this week, let's play another Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip. Drag this bloke around. This dirty neckbeard looking character. What's he got to say?
This is my application to join the black community. Will you guys accept me? Because I don't like white people at all.
First of all, he's got his hat on a 45-degree angle. I haven't seen that since I was in high school when we thought that was cool. I don't know if it's cool anymore. But I don't know if you realize, brother, but you are as white as they come. You're Ash Epstein white. And I don't think that's how culture works. I don't think you can just go up to a culture and be like, will you guys accept me? Especially when it comes to race. I mean, these days things are crazy. You probably could do that these days. I'm probably going to come off as a bigot right now and say that, and people are going to get in the comments and be like, you can be whatever you want to be these days. So sure, go and join that community. I don't give a fuck. Things I've consumed this week. I've dipped my toe back into a guilty pleasure of mine. So one of my favorite TV series of all time is New Girl. I don't know if I've ever spoken about it on the podcast, but I finished all my podcasts and stuff this week. Didn't feel like finding a new podcast. It just felt like a comfort watch while I was at work doing quotes and shit. And New Girl popped up. I think I saw a clip or something, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to rewatch that. So I'm about halfway through season 4 at the moment. I think there's 7 seasons. And it is such a well-written and good show. It is... It could be my favorite TV series of all time. I don't fucking know. But every line in the series is just a perfectly structured joke, and just everything has a punchline. There is no wasted screen time in it. The storyline is just perfect. And yeah, it was fucking good. So Nikita and I actually stumbled across that when we went on a cruise when we were younger. We ended up going on a cruise, and it was like a retirement cruise. We didn't realize. So we were like the youngest people on there. And one afternoon we were bored with the shit that was going on. So we just retired to our cabin, flicked the TV on, and there was just an episode of New Girl on, and we were laughing the whole time. We ended up getting back and just downloading all the seasons. And yeah, it was fucking sick. So go give that a watch. If you've never seen New Girl, you're in for a fucking treat. And as I said, Saturday night, we had the house to ourselves. So we're like, oh, what can we put on? And for the longest time, since it came out, we've wanted to watch this. And we put on Housemaid. So I've heard mixed reviews about this. Some people hate it. Some people love it. The big thing about it is you get to see Sydney Sweeney naked. And my Lord, moment of silence. Go and watch it just for that. But it blew my mind. Like, Sydney Sweeney is seen as one of the big superstars of this generation. And it made me think back to, like, the people of our generation. Like, I'm a 90s kid. The pinnacle of hot girls when I was at high school were like Jessica Alba and Megan Fox, things like that. Could you imagine if one of them just went full nude in a movie when we were in high school? It would have ended the future of civilization. We would have just been belting ourselves silly in our bedrooms. But in terms of the movie, spoiler alert, skip a couple of minutes. I loved it. I thought it was a fucking sick movie, solid thriller, kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. And the only thing I didn't really like was the ending, okay? Up until the last, 5 minutes, I was on board. I was like, this is unreal. This is such a good movie. And the ending just felt unnecessary and lame, in my opinion. They should have stopped it 5 minutes before they did. And, yeah, it was not realistic. Up until that point, everything that happened could actually happen in real life. And then this last part was like, you got yourself out of the situation, and now you're trying to be some sort of superhero vigilante and just get yourself back in these situations. Pissed me the fuck off. But on top of that, Nikita knew that I was on edge from watching this thriller, and the house was in darkness while we're watching the movie. Movie finishes, I go to the toilet, and as I've come back out of our bedroom, Nikita is hiding in the hallway in the darkness. And I'm scrolling on my phone, just seeing what's happened on social media since we're watching the movie. And she just jumps out of the darkness, scares the fuck out of me. I launch my phone in the air and attempt to squeal. We touched on it. And my phone just flies in the air and whacks Nikita in the tit. So I suppose that's what you get for scaring me in darkness. So anyway, last thing I've consumed this week. This was not on my 2026 bingo card. I've got myself in... Actually, it's not really a rabbit hole because it's just been this one video that I've been addicted to this week. And that is this Elvis video on YouTube of him singing Unchained Melody. Now, my dad is like the biggest Elvis fan. Like, I remember every Christmas and birthday would buy him something Elvis, a CD, a DVD, box of shorts with Elvis on it. Just something related to Elvis. Elvis or John Wayne were like his two little guilty pleasures. And I never really got into Elvis, okay? Obviously, he's got some absolute crackers of some hits. And every now and then they come on and you give him a listen. And you're like, oh, wow, he was a good musician. But this one, I've heard it's one of his last live performances. So it's him singing Unchained Melody when he was not in a good condition, let's just say that. So the lead up to the video, the first minute or so, is him just mumbling and not in a great way. And he's even got a dude holding the mic for him because he couldn't hold it anymore. And he just sits behind this piano and he goes from this mumbling, bumbling mess and he plays the piano and he just turns back into Elvis and just sings the most fucking beautiful song ever and just puts every single ounce of his body and voice into this thing. And he is just undeniable. He is fucking one of the best musicians in history or whatever. And yeah, when he sits down, he is dry as a bone, okay? By the time he gets to the end of this 3-minute song, it's like he just went and jumped in a pond or something because he is absolutely dripping in sweat. He put everything into there. I'm surprised he didn't die on the spot. But yeah, shout out to Elvis. And then before we wrap up, got one more turns out it can get worse clip right before we rip into the Patreon. And I think this ties in perfectly. So let's see what this lady's on about.
Hello, I have an idea I'd like to sell just for a small percentage if somebody is rich to buy it. It is a hotel idea. An idea for a luxury hotel that can be famous throughout.
So yeah, guys, I've got an idea as well. So Patreon, $5 a month. If you guys want to jump across and support this creamy boy, you too can be a creamy boy for $5 a month. So it's much lower stakes than a startup hotel business, but maybe just as much fun. But anyway, before we say goodbye to our usual viewers and rip into the Patreon, gigs to plug this week. 5th and 6th of March, I'm going to be at the Brisbane Comedy Cellar. Saturday the 7th of March, I've just noticed on the fly, we've got a bit of a double dip here. I'm actually going to have to cancel that show, so let's not plug that one. But 7th of March, I'm doing my live stream for the IBC on the Can't Get Any Worse YouTube. So if you're around, throw it on, even if you don't want to watch it. Let's just get those views up. The clip will be out in a couple of days anyway. So let's just say what we've got in store. We got friend of the podcast, Desley Robinson, jumping on as a co-host for the night. We have a fighter from every single fight on the night. So win, lose or draw. Either side of a knockout, they're going to be sitting right beside me, breaking down their fight within a matter of minutes of jumping out of the cage. We've got the president, Mr. Danny Mack, again, been on the podcast last year. He is jumping on and telling us what the future of the IBC is. And then I've just got a whole heap of just unhinged little segments and things like that I'm going to be doing with, fighters, Dan, Desley, and then even a couple of people buzzing around down there have tentatively booked in, but I'm not going to announce any of that shit because who knows if it's going to come to fruition. But other than that, guys, if you want to get in touch with the show, send DMs to Can't Get Any Worse Podcast on Instagram, or shoot me an email at can'tgetanyworsepod@gmail.com. I appreciate you all. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have ripper weeks, and stay tuned for the Creamy Boys Patreon following this right now, and I will see you later.
Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game.